Winter is coming, as you can see right there. It's that time of the month when the Climate Prediction Center updates its winter forecast. Here is that forecast from the Climate Prediction Center, and you can see they are leaning above normal precipitation in parts of the northern U.S. and leaning below normal, represented by those brown colors, in parts of the southern U.S. One of the reasons for a forecast like this is the expectation that La Niña will be around for at least part of the winter. And indeed, this is a very La Niña-like pattern for the winter, where you get this little lobe of above normal precipitation in parts of the northwestern United States, another pocket here in the Midwest through the Great Lakes, and in general, drier than normal precipitation for the southern U.S. A word of caution, every La Niña is different, and in some cases, the winter does not end up as we would expect it would for La Niña. The Climate Prediction Center puts out a very useful and lengthy discussion. Here is a small snippet from that discussion. La Niña is not the only factor that goes into their forecast, but it is one of the factors. You can see them mention La Niña here, with the December, January, February precipitation outlook consistent with La Niña composites, as the southern tier of the continental United States is typically drier than normal. Now, La Niña has patterns all over the United States, but I'm focusing specifically on the southern United States because I made a few plots to highlight some of the changes in the forecast. The Climate Prediction Center also looks at a lot of different weather models. This is the European model from the site weatherbell.com, and you'll see it's very similar to that CPC forecast for the winter, where you have this wetter than normal pocket here in the northwest U.S. forecasted, this other weather than normal pocket forecasted from the Great Lakes a little further down in parts of the southern U.S., and in general drier than normal conditions across a good part of the southern U.S. Here's the winter precipitation forecast from the NMME model, otherwise known as the North American Multi-Model Ensemble. While not exactly the same, the signature is somewhat similar to the European model forecast and the official CPC winter forecast. But wait, there's more. Here's the forecast from the CFS model. This actually updates daily, but you'll notice as we look at the winter precipitation forecast and scroll down here, the signature is somewhat similar to the other models and forecasts that we've been looking at. I'm going to show you some time series plots, and we're going to be basically looking at this part of the country right here, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. I decided to get really crazy and plot out the winter precipitation forecast for this part of the country. So we're looking at the forecast from the CFS, the European model, and the NMME. The European model, shown by these green dots, was leaning close to just below normal for its forecast that it made in October, and then its most recent forecast that it made around the date of, I think it was around November 5th. The NMME has been a little more aggressive, being below normal with precipitation. You can see in October it made a forecast pretty aggressive below normal for winter precipitation, and then nudging up a little bit, but still well below normal for its winter precipitation forecast for that forecast that it made in early November. And then of course we have the CFS. Now the CFS is a continuous line because it updates daily, and you'll notice it's kind of at this point sort of in line with the NMME. The recent trend has been trending down with that precipitation, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. All right, who wants to take a little tour of my Google Colab notebook? Come on, you ready? All right, let's go. Just for the sake of curiosity, let's look at a different part of the country. So I'm going to scroll up to where I specify the geographic region that I want to analyze when I look at these forecasts. So this is the region we just looked at, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. So we're going to comment this part out with the triple quote. One of my favorite commenting tools, by the way. Now let's go and look at the northwest U.S. So let's go up here to Oregon, Washington, parts of Idaho. So we're going to remove the comments here and then run this cell. Now let's rerun the plot. And we have this new graph for the northwestern United States. And this forecast, of course, looks very different. All of the models are trending above normal for winter precipitation in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and parts of western Montana. But of course, forecasts going several months into the future always have high uncertainty, so we'll actually have to wait to see what actually happens.